close up, but on my camera, it's a bust shot. And I'm like, I need to shave and do some stuff. So I'm going to get a spa day.
You look beautiful.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. You are a good person, but a horrible liar.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Every Day, where we are discussing the aesthetics of one Greg Coleman 2, G2. Jessi Pierce with us also. G2, you should have been with us like 5 minutes early. What folks behind the curtain, I send out these invitations at about 10 minutes before we go live. And you know, my background being what it is in TV and everything was you had to hit everything by a certain time. So when I started this, I was like, we have to be on it at 9:30. I've since learned that's not the way it works nowadays. So I'm way more relaxed. But I send this invitation out, and I come in at 23, and who do I see sitting there? But Jessi Pierce is already into the stream, and I'm like, this does not happen. And she has the lovely Avery with her as well. So I'm thinking, oh, we get a twofer for today. And you've already had mom responsibilities in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've got a sick child also at home, so I had to put Toy Story 4 on because Toy Story 2 was over, so now he wanted 4. And so he's sitting with a bucket, which he thinks is an ice cream bucket, right? Because it is, because that's what we know, right? That's what you puke into. But he keeps asking for ice cream. I'm like, nope, this is where the grossness goes. So good morning, everybody. That's the tale of parenting for you. And the baby's out there getting taken care of by the sick 3-year-old, 2-year-old. So cheers.
He took Avery. Yes. And I thought G2, I thought maybe we'd have it's Zaya.
Zayna
yeah. Rose.
Yeah. Yep. Zayna Rose. I just dropped her off at grandma's. So if there's any ice cream buckets, they're over there.
And if I have any little kid stories, then we have a real story to tell because those days are long gone. I say to both of you, as crazy as it seems, and as days like you're like everyone says this to you. I'm just going to say the same thing. It is going to go by so freaking fast. And you are going to ask yourself, how the bleep did that happen?
I know.
I'm not going to bleep it out. I'm actually going to say it.
I just wouldn't for here, but I actually said it too. I'm just like, man, can I have a do-over? Can I do that all over again? Not because I feel like I did it wrong. I enjoyed every minute of it. My kids were like robots. I mean, who are you? I got in trouble in fights and stuff like in the playground. They were like A students. And like, I would come home on a Friday night and they were doing homework on the island at 1:00 and was like, who are you?
Good work.
I know. No, that had to be all from their mother or skipped a generation. I don't know what.
That's probably true.
I really can't take credit for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, we were going to talk about, I gave you this New York Times like thing of all the different things we could talk about. And I'm talking to JP beforehand. And of course I have this running thing with Willie Miles, which I like to just pick at Willie if I can. And he's got this love of Cat. And so I pretend like I don't really like Cat as much as I do. And after watching Cat last night, I said to JP, I got to look up his contract status because I'm not sure Cat's not like a long-term extension at the maximum value guy at this point. And so we looked it up. Do you know what Cat's contract status is?
Like offhand?
Oh yeah, just like yeah.
Surprise! Good morning, trivia time.
I know it's a lot of money.
Yeah. So he is on the rookie maximum extension contract. He is under contract with the Timberwolves. He will become an unrestricted free agent either in 2024 or after 2024. His average yearly salary is, and you are sitting down, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like 30 something, isn't it?
You're right. 31,650,600 annually. Extrapolate that to over 5 years. $158 million, 253,000. Oh my. Yes. So he doesn't need more money, but as I was saying to JP, thinking about it, he shoots the ball outside. I would say as good as any big man in the game, but better than most players, regardless of size in the NBA. He can shoot it. He plays both ends of the floor. He is a leader. And as JP and I were talking about, he's not a guy you have to worry about getting in trouble. You know, I mean, he's been nothing but a solid citizen, and he seems like he's okay with being here. So I think that's half the battle. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not advocating for him to get more money, but I think they got to hang on to Cat.
Yeah, and especially when you kind of see the chemistry that goes on when D'Lo, him, and Ant, and basically kind of their starting five. He's been consistent when healthy. It's only like those Embiid days when he goes up, and depending on how the coin flips, he'll fight for 3 quarters. But the last 2 games that they had against the Lakers, and he played against Anthony Davis, like he showed up. Anthony used to take his lunch.
Yes.
And it is,
yes.
Yeah. I think he kind of falls under that category that we like with our bigs that we kind of fell in love with Kevin Love, of just kind of consistent, kind of in that 25 and 10 range or something. I think we kind of want some of that more like KG, like grit out of leadership, but he's not that all the time. But, he's shown that he can be a leader in different ways. And just kind of like showing up a bit more consistent. So, when that contract talk comes around, if they can, be able to still keep Anthony Edwards, if he's going to still want to stay around, and if D'Lo's still producing, give him a shot. We're number 7 in the West. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You got to, especially, I think you almost owe it to Cat too, right? Like you're trying to get him the guys around him. He definitely, you want to see him succeed here a little bit. You gave KG that opportunity and then you let him go because you needed to let him succeed somewhere else. I think Cat still has an opportunity to succeed here, help this team be successful here. But I'd like to see a little bit more consistency, as we mentioned. I think we've talked about that time and time again. That's my only real knock. Sorry, C. Willie. That's the biggest knock, right? You need to and then stay out of foul trouble too. Let that be the end of that. But otherwise,
I'm okay watching Cat fail here though too.
Yes, right, exactly.
Succeed or fail.
Getting back to the KG stuff too, as great as is this Caden now? The second appearance shows Caden.
He had some things.
Hi, Caden.
What's up, buddy?
The good-looking kid. Yeah. Okay, so so back with KG. So we talk about, and you're right. Anthony Davis just used to. I mean, I'm like Cat. I'm like him and Embiid. You got to at least show up and fight. You know what I mean? You got to put up a fight against these guys. But man, Tim Duncan hated KG, and every time they played, Tim Duncan took KG for everything he had and then some. You look at the personal status in those games, those 2 games. Tim Duncan did not like Kevin Garnett, and he owned Kevin Garnett. I mean, we tend to mention we don't have that many people we can really hang our hats on to, but man, So there's a couple comments coming in. Here's the non-controversial one. Is this a relative?
That's my Aunt Joe. Hi, Aunt Joe.
Hello, Aunt Joe. Thank you for checking us out. And this I would expect from C. Willie, but DT weighing in with Cat is better than KG.
Wow, DT with the hot take, man. Oh man, I almost need to invite him on so he can defend this because I would love to know why. Like
he shoots better than KG.
That's true.
Cat can shoot it, man. He really can. True. Sometimes I'm like, no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's going to be tough, but I will say this. I'm in the minority of Minnesotans who no longer holds KG up in that great savior light. It's just, and it has nothing to do with the Timberwolves. It has everything to do with his beef with Ray Allen. I was like, it's insane, and it makes me not like him as a person or anything that he's done for us. Like, how dare you leave a team and get $7 million instead of stay with us and be a backup for $1 million? It's just no, I can't with it. I'm off the KG train. So if anybody else wants to come in, Wally Zerbiak, he was up there. I like him better than KG.
See, now we're talking about my era of basketball. That's the last time I ever watched basketball was KG Wally Zerbiak. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
The funniest Timberwolves story that I have is back in the days when I was covering the team, and when you could go to like the airports, we would always get these guys and they were coming and going on planes. So the Timberwolves acquired Tom Gugliotta. And so we go out to the airport. It's like on a Sunday at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something. And he comes off the plane and we're standing there and he just politely does the interview. And so we're walking out. We walk down, but he gets his bags and stuff like that. We're still talking and we're waiting for the Timberwolves. Finally, I'm like, do you want to ride wherever you're going? So we end up, Timberwolves don't send anybody to pick him up. They're supposed to send a car, and so we put him. He folds himself into the news vehicle with us. We give Gugliotta a ride to his hotel. So of course I go on the news that night and say that I call the Timberwolves. Nice job, welcome the guy in. Don't send the car. That didn't go over well with the Timberwolves organization. They were not happy with me for that.
Did they have an explanation? Like why they didn't go get their guy?
They blamed it on the service. Obviously, they had a service, and whatever reason it didn't get done. But yeah, that didn't. Flip was not happy with me for that one. So back to KG and that whole thing with Ray Allen, he has nothing to say about that because if you go back to draft day, the Timberwolves drafted Ray Allen. Here you draft this guy who's a multiple All-American, the best shooter in the country, right? Let's face it. You got KG under the basket, Allen playing the 2 or the 3 if you want to put him at the small forward. I can play point guard on that team and we win 60% of our games. All I got to do is get it across half court and get it to one or the other and we're okay. And no, they trade him for Stephon Marbury, who has 1 year of college basketball. I mean, never listened to Bobby Cremins at Georgia Tech. And now you're surprised when he comes in here, doesn't want to run the offense and doesn't want, to share the basketball with KG and then leaves. Was this a shock to anyone? I mean, if we keep Ray Allen, this Timberwolves franchise trajectory is completely different, and I will die on that hill right there.
I mean, you're not wrong, right? Like that's I
have people that fight me on Twitter on this every once in a while. JP, I get on this, and I'm like, people who I respect, I'm like, how can you think that this was still a defensible move to trade for Steph? I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. It doesn't make sense. That would have been so fun. Like now I'm thinking of like what could have been, right? Like that could have been so. I probably never would have switched to hockey, Tim. I would have stuck with the Timberwolves. I probably would have remained as a basketball fan because that would have been epic.
This guy, G2's on the move. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to add him to the stream here and remove this one. I got you back on, G2. I just want you to know you're being watched.
Yeah, I know. My dog just knocked out my computer cord, so I just transferred over to my phone. It's a real top-notch professional thing I got going on over here.
But I got to give you credit for the quickness, the quick shift there. Look at that. You were just like, boom, boom, let's go. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I still got a little speed left.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Ray Allen, here's a guy who had, graduated, solid citizen, all of these things. Like, again, we talk about Cat, a guy who's never going to get into trouble and could shoot the ball. I mean, he leads the game as the all-time leader in threes. Steph just broke his record. He didn't even have that as an option, when he came into the league. But, oh, my God. So, anyway, I was so happy for, like, an hour that draft night. When I heard that trade, I just about went ballistic. And to this day, I just never, ever. So KG has no leg to stand on for Ray Allen because he advocated for that trade. He wanted Steph.
Yep.
So, all right, current day, Timberwolves last night playing in the Big Apple. I watched more of this game last night than any Timberwolves game I've watched in probably the last decade. And it was painful at times. Because the new league, it's just like if you're over half court and the ball hits your hands, you have free license to shoot it. And I just think of all the coaches that I had who are just be like, no. But anyway, that's not the game as we know it today. And Cat had it going in the first half, and it looked like Kemba Walker was going to steal this thing. Hit 3 3-pointers in a row in the fourth quarter. He had I don't know how many in the fourth, but man. We got bailed out, and by an unlikely source, Jalen Noel, 14 points, 11 in the fourth quarter. But they designed the play down the end, Finch does, to go to Cat because he'd fouled out their 2 big men. And Ant gets him the ball, gets out of the way, and Cat gets 2 and the hoop and the harm, and they survive not 1, but 2 potential game-winning shots. That is a game they would have lost 9 out of 10 times in any other year. Am I wrong?
No. Not at all, because finishing just really wasn't their thing. They might, have a lead and then it gets cut down and then they just kind of look disheveled and lost. But it really feels like this year they've been sticking it out. And it looks like they've just been winning those 4-minute games within the game, within each quarter. Just like, hey, all right, we lost this one, need to win the next 8 minutes. Yeah, I thought it was going to be close. I thought Beverly was going to turn it over, and he did. Luckily, D'Lo was able to retrieve the ball. But yeah, no, that's a great win for those guys. You know, no matter, especially when the Knicks are doing decent, a playoff team, and you know they RJ is doing well. But yeah, I feel like that had to feel really good for those guys, and especially for Cat getting a win in New York in front of his family. Like, yeah, that's a big win for the Timberwolves. They're hopefully we stay in playoff contention, and they just know like, hey, people are going to gun for us. We got to gun for people, and we're all professionals. So let's just keep it rolling.
Right. I think you see, yeah, it's that shift of confidence, right? I mean, again, we talk about just beginning of the year when they were playing just not to lose, right? Now they're playing to actually win, which is something that's very, very refreshing to finally see out of this team, out of this organization. So huge boost heading into Atlanta for sure. I mean, hopefully they can keep this thing rolling. Hopefully they can finish out games as G2 had said. I mean, that's, I think, the biggest thing for them. The biggest hurdle that they have is just being able to really finish those games out and close them out.
It will be interesting to see how they compete tonight. They do have Atlanta. Trae Young is something else, and they've had issues with Atlanta in the past. So I'm interested to see how they compete tonight. Staying with basketball for a moment, according to league sources, All-Star Sylvia Fowles has decided to return to play in the WNBA for her 15th season. However, it's unclear where she will play. She is an unrestricted free agent. She is 36 years old. She's going to meet with Cheryl Reeve this week. That will be virtual. There's no way Sylvia Fowles will get in a plane and come to Minnesota in the middle of the winter. I mean, she doesn't like being here in October. She's definitely not coming in January. Teams can't announce signings till February 1st. The Lynx have $432,000 in available cap space. They have 3 unrestricted free agents: Fowles, Laisha Clarendon, and Rachel Bannum. So that I would think between the two, Clarendon and Bannum, should leave more than $100,000 to go to Fowles. But the question is, at 36, does she want to win more hardware? And can this Lynx team, without, no matter what her relationship is with the coach and general manager, they're not going to have Nafisha Collier, who's pregnant, is likely to miss all the season, thanks to the condensed schedule they're going to have because of the World Cup. So can we fault Sylvia Fowles if she wants to win more hardware? Does she have loyalty to this franchise, or is it just not so much money, but just she wants to win?
I mean, it's the classic case of Minnesota, right? We want people to want to stay here. We love the loyalty. Mikko Koivu, stay here. You saw Mikko Koivu leave because he thought he could give more and he wanted to play elsewhere. Again, that was a totally different situation, but you can't fault her if she does want to win more and she feels she has a better position. It's at the end of the day, she gets to make that decision. However, you would love to have her stay here because there is that romanticism of playing a large portion of your career, most of your career, all of your career in with one team, in one organization, an organization that has been successful and helped her win those rings to begin with. Right. I mean, so I think it's again, it's that 50-50 as fans of the Lynx, as fans of Minnesota, you want them to want to stay here. You want her to say, yep, I'm back in. Let's do this. Let's do this one more year. Let's go win a hardware here in Minnesota. But also, is that feasible, right? As she has a better shot to go do it elsewhere. You can't fault her for wanting to do that either. So I know she'll make the best decision for herself. I know the Lynx will probably try to keep her because she's still valuable, even at 36, still an incredibly valuable player that you want to play with, not against. So it'll be interesting to see how those conversations go again. And she's due a large lump of money as well. So make sure that she gets paid too. I think that'll be something that she takes into consideration naturally too.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. Like, I would love to see her, come back and try to run it back with the Lynx. But as a veteran, and knowing that you can get top dollar for a year, no matter wherever you go, if it's 1 year or 2 years, or try to push it out to 3, she has her choice. Mm-hmm. She has her pick. And you're right. I would not put her on a plane, especially today, and come try to have contract talks. I'll be like, let's go meet in Miami or somewhere.
Here.
Yeah, like somewhere warm that doesn't have a WNBA team or something like that. Like, hey, let's go meet in New Mexico. Like, oh yeah, we bought this for you. Yeah, sign a guy. I wonder what like the stat would be of contracts signed in January and February for athletes on our team. Like the numbers either got to be astronomical or else like they're like, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand somewhere.
Miami was calling me, so
That's right.
I think I'll take that call first, real quick.
I'd even go to Jacksonville right now. Like, let's start up an expansion team.
So they say that the room she should have in cap space is about $200,000. Now we think about what we just talked about for Cat, who's what he makes and has never won anything. She's 36 years old, but she's currently first in league history in rebounds, field goal percentage, fourth in blocks, seventh in minutes played, 13th in career points. And last year at the age of 35, oh shoot, I got my pages out of order. Oh, here it is. Last year, she had a career high 1.8 steals, 1.8 blocks, was the defensive player of the year for the fourth time. Only player in the league to average at least 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks. Second team All WNBA and an All-Star for the seventh time. Oh, yes, she also helped the Team USA win a gold in Japan. So, yeah, there's no real drop-off in her play. If anyone is deserving of the maximum, and I hope she gets it. And and I don't begrudge her if she decides to go to Seattle or someplace else where they're like, hey, they're probably going to win the championship, or they might win the championship if I go there. Whatever she decides to do, we were lucky to have her while we did. No goal for men's basketball game tonight. COVID, no big shock. They've postponed the game, unscheduled makeup date at this time versus Penn State. To the Vikings and the search for the head coach and the way this league operates. LA Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. What are we laughing at? Somebody just crashed?
Yeah, there's so. I'm guessing it's a toddler.
Do you need to go check on?
Nope, we'll just keep on talking. Mostly because I don't want to know what it was. I'm guessing it was a chair with a glass of milk. Sounds about right.
Mm.
If you're good with it, I'm good with it.
There's no crying, so there's no
injury.
That's
true. No blood, right? No foul.
Exactly. We'll wait.
So the LA Rams defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, had 0 requests from the 8 head coaching positions as of Monday afternoon. Then his defense went out and shut out the Rams the Cardinals for 41 minutes, and the Vikings reached out yesterday. He's 45 years old. He's a former head coach for both the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. This is a guy who everybody who has had him on their staff or has played for him says, this is the smartest guy and the best coach I've ever played for. But yet when he's had the opportunities, whether it's with the Tampa or Atlanta, it hasn't gone well. I mean, he hasn't got the wins to show for it. Is this a chance where he wasn't given enough time to get to that point, or what is it? Why does he come off so highly thought of and spoken about, but the results have not translated onto the football field? What do you do if you're trying to make that decision?
I think you just got to really figure out who your team is and what he's going to bring, because who knows what those situations are whenever you're taking over a new team. Taking over Tampa, what condition was Tampa in? Taking over Atlanta, what condition were they in? And it's a new league. He did get hot with this last game, and everyone's like, "Hey, he's the smartest guy in the room." Well, I don't know. Give it a shot. Give him some time if you want. Like, I've noticed that my opinion doesn't matter at all when coming to the head coach stuff. Like, I'll just look at the Vikings their posts on Instagram and be like, no, maybe a little bit better. No. Hopefully he gets a shot, but if he doesn't, it's going to come in a year or two. But it is just kind of funny that he had no calls and then shutting down Arizona. They're like, "Oh, hey, you're the hottest thing since sliced bread. We've always liked you. Like, you didn't like me 4 years ago in Tampa."
For the record, it was juice, not milk. So that's
okay.
Good to know. He just informed
sticky.
Me. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, the juice fell," and I was like, "Okay, well, we were pretty on track with that." No, I mean, I think, yeah, I always am a big fan of giving a coach a little bit more time to see what they can do rather than quickly being like, and the same goes for, "Hey, I think you're amazing too." Like, give them more time to feel it out. I think both ways it's important. We're all falling off the rails. G2 and I just falling off the rails. No, so I mean, I think I don't know. I still go back to it's weird on Instagram to post. That's all I'm saying. Just disingenuine. That was the word I was looking for yesterday. It's weird to talk about that, but yeah, I'm curious. I mean, there's no need to rush it, right? We still have plenty of time as well when considering all the candidates and see what else pops up. But yeah, I don't know.
I love the people who are tripping because of the 8 candidates that have been identified so far, 5 of them defensive coordinators or defensive position. People are like, no,
it didn't work. It didn't
no
work.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to. We need to just go get some like young kid out of college who just has all these craziest offensive plays, because it's just like, hey man, like defense, we'll figure it out. Like we still got some pretty solid names on defense. They know what to do. You see a guy, you tackle him. But we need to really get our offense figured out.
Yeah. It gets back to Scott's point here too. Why are we talking about a head coach without a GM? You got to have players. I mean, I think if you had anything with the discussion we had yesterday, G2 and Jessi was there talking about, Jim Suhan wrote a piece about kind of the balloons being popped where Bill Belichick, the genius, is concerned with Tom Brady being gone. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, there's never going to come a time where somebody's brain is going to overcome talent. You got to have talent. Nobody's ever won anything without having talent.
It's the chicken before the egg situation, right? I had more time to think about this, Tim, after we got off. And I love Tom Brady. Like, he's my guy. He's my dude. But I was like, I bet, though, I mean, Bill Belichick had a lot to do with the way that Tom Brady obviously transformed. Like, no question he was an elite athlete, but I think in the beginning years, he gave Tom that confidence. Like, I do give Bill a little bit more credit, I think, than maybe I was giving him yesterday. The more I just kind of rummaged around in my head again. But it goes both ways. I think Bill Belichick is a very good coach without question. I don't know that Tom Brady, Mike
never won without Phil. Phil won without Mike.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Granted, he had Shaq and Kobe, but
he had some other decent guys, right? Like, yeah. But no, I mean, I do. I think it's a circle you can go around and around with for sure. So Hudson's not here.
Yeah, it's you got to have. I remember I coached high school football for like 10 years, and I coached running backs at Wayzata High School where we were in this unprecedented run. And people pump my tires. Oh, your running backs are so good. You're like, oh, it's the kids. But inside you're thinking, I'm pretty good, right? and then one year we had no offensive line at all. And it was all I could do to limit the count these kids had to carry the ball because they were like literally getting killed. I'm like, he's at 15 carries. I'm pulling him out of the game. We aren't going to win this game. I want this kid to be able to play at the college level, and I realized I'm exactly as good a running backs coach as the offensive line. I mean, it's just, if there's no hole, the kid, even the best kid, can't do anything when 11 guys are coming for him. I mean, you need to have that marriage of talent and game plan. I mean, so the GM is everything. And that GM will have a say in who that head coach is going to be. Well, this has been the most eventful show I think we've ever done.
You're not wrong. But look at us. Just keep trucking. Keep trucking.
We'll ignore the kids. We'll ignore the dog losing his mind at the mailman that he sees every day.
This is Mike's best take to date. I want the GM job, though, actually.
Yeah,
that's what I really want.
That's true. That's a little bit safer. It's a little bit more secure, I think, sometimes.
And less people know who you are, just in case when you mess up. Like, more people, they're going to Google head coach. Like, football fans will know who the GM is. Like, they're showing all these GM. I'm like, who is? I don't know. Just pick somebody. We don't care.
It's Minnesota.
But it better be the right person, darn it. Yeah. All right. So G2. So I thought about you and your situation and your albums and everything. And I'm like, so what would happen if I was to have to say to you to come on and do like a bit, like from one of your comedy albums? Would that make you mad? Would you want to do that? Would you not want to do that? How would that go over?
I would just play a track from the album. Just like lazy karaoke style.
So tell people what we're talking about and where can they find your work?
You can go to my Instagram, Twitter, Seiji Cole, or just wherever you stream music. The albums are called Dad's Garage, and then the other one is called Sex Receipts. It sounds a little bit but it's actually kind of more wholesome than the first album. I wouldn't call it wholesome, but a little bit more, tame. Or yeah, just send me a DM and I'll send you a free link because iTunes and Spotify do not pay us any money at all. They get more money off my work than I do. So I'll just give it away for YouTube and then just be like, Venmo me $5, It's how, or donate. Like that's how we get around it tax free.
You are going to be playing here locally though next month, are you not?
Yeah, I'll be moving around a bit. I'll be in St. Louis the 11th and 12th, headlining the Helium Comedy Club. Then I will be at Acme on the 16th and 17th of February, headlining that Wednesday and Thursday night. So if you need a midweek escape, I got you.
I think you still owe me. You still owe me Acme tickets, I think, right? Because I tried some gravy. Yeah.
Yep, the 16th and the 17th. I got you.
Saying we should all that might be a thing.
It's a team outing.
That'd be nice.
LPSN team outing.
All right, JP, what should people be looking for from you?
A whole lot of nothing. The Wild are off until Friday. Again, they'll be in Chicago. I'll actually be down in Mankato Friday night for Hockey Day, Minnesota activity. There's an alumni game that evening that I will be covering. Then back here for the Wild versus Chicago in a home and home on Saturday night. So I don't know. I'll pop up. I'm sure there's other stories. There's a Minnesota hockey story out today. If you want to go read that about taboo youth hockey words, which is a little tongue-in-cheek piece. So go check it out.
And I just got to point out that while I love Mike and the way he thinks, here he is. He's sending these messages to us when the juice is on the floor. So should I expect that he's already cleaned this up, or is this awaiting you when you?
He's just still waiting. Yeah.
Better you than me.
Yeah, right.
All right, you guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. It was fun. This is Let's Play Every Day, and tomorrow we've got a special edition coming. G2, you're gonna cringe when you hear who we've got coming in tomorrow. Phil Drobnik, who is the coach of the U.S. men and the mixed pairs United States curling team.
I want in
for the Winter Olympics.
Do it.
I want in. I curl.
Do you really?
I curled in Regina, Saskatchewan. It was fun.
I will send you the link. If you send me an email tomorrow and I have you come in, he will answer your questions because I got him. I wrote a piece about what happened in their last selection process, which he was part of, which I think they made the whole thing up to make sure that John Schuster would not be the skip of the U.S. Olympic team. And not only does he win the competition he was not invited to, he goes on to win the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So there's that. That's tomorrow right here. In the meantime, should you be asked to, like, whatever it is, get in a game or perhaps even just clean up juice that's been spilled on the kitchen floor, don't stay on the sidelines. Get in the game and play every day.